services proposal, and this is on the parking lots, acquisition project.
Yes, Mayor Madla, happy to report in response to our request for proposal ad, the city received 2 proposals. One was from Ms. Tammy Powell of Emerald Coast Realty, and the other from Mr. Rick Wright of S&W Real Estate. And you have a packet that has a copy of those proposals received. And Ms. Powell is here this evening if you have any questions for her. There you go.
Or not.
We won't bite much.
Well,
Give her name and address, please.
Tammy Powell, and I work at Emerald Coast Realty at 177 North Highway 101 in Depoe Bay.
And would you do one more favor for me? Speak up a few octaves. I'm kind of,
There you go.
Sure.
That's fine.
it's hard to hear.
thank you.
Good sense of smell.
Do you smell me?
Now just speak up a little bit.
He's official.
I'll get what you're saying.
No problem.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Tammy. So, my question is on, because it seems like a precarious position for somebody that's going to represent. I take it in this case, as a real estate broker, you'd be representing the city.
Correct.
Okay. Because I know one of the property owners indeed is not going to want to pay real estate,
Commission?
yeah.
I did a little bit of research on that.
Uh,
The 2 properties that are listed already offer buyer's agent commission. The property that is not listed, which I believe is Mr. Cutler, he said he would work with a real estate broker.
okay, all right, that's
My
encouraging.
goal is to have him pay my commission, which is typically 3%.
How much?
3%.
Okay, all right.
And obviously, if I couldn't make that happen, then it would be up to the city to pay me.
Right, okay. Okay, that's all my questions, thank you.
That's what I was curious about, was the percentage or the cost. And so it would be 3%.
There's sometimes a little flexibility in that, so.
Okay, and I read the packet provided to us, thank you. It was very informative.
Thank
It
you.
reminds me of when I bought a house. Oh, boy, I remember signing one of those. Yeah. So, I'm pleased. Yeah.
Well, I have to say that I like the idea that for one thing, that we're, considering doing business with a local office, of course, with all due respect to S&W Real Estate, and I'm sure that they're very qualified in what they do, but I'd like to see, honestly, to have a hometown preference, because I feel that you probably have a better idea of the market on a day-to-day basis, rather than somebody who, it isn't here in the community, with quite the frequency that you are. And of course, I'm only making an assumption on that as far as Mr. Wright is concerned, but I just think that somebody who's in the city has a better idea of, the ins and outs of these transactions, which I agree with Robert. I've signed one of those once, and frankly, it was one of the worst decisions I ever made, but that's really neither here nor there. But I really thank you for all of the comprehensive information that you've provided with with this, and it's all very straightforward, and as much as such a thing can be, and really gives us some good information to work with. So thank you for that. And otherwise, I don't really have any questions.
I have no questions. Excellent package.
Thank you.
How long have you been in Depoe Bay?
Oh, been in Depoe Bay?
Yes.
About a year and a half.
Here.
this was brought up last council meeting. I don't remember who brought it up now, but it was to, get a real estate broker, a neutral person involved in this. Was that you that brought it up?
I think that we were looking for a way, it wasn't me, but I think the council was looking for a way to find an independent person to represent the city's interest in procuring some property, and this is one idea that was put forward. So,
To be an intermediary,
yeah,
to the council and the property owners?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it could be that, there's some property in flux here, so, I would, I would make a motion that we, engage, Tammy Powell of the Emerald Coast Realty to, represent the city and, select, properties and approaching the owners. And, under the guidance of the council, starting with the one, property that we know, because he's been here saying that he is interested in selling to the city, that would be John Woodline. As far as I've heard, to tell you the truth, is that, that one of the other properties that was in question, that person has not even been contacted by the city.
We're talking about the camel. We talked to them.
No,
Yeah.
no, talking about Joni. She has no clue, she doesn't know what's going on.
Oh. What's your take on this, Counselor?
Looks like a fair RFP and fair, you know, I mean, I just do the legal stuff, so I don't answer for the qualitative decision.
We would have a contract with Emerald Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. so-
Yeah.
And you would have.
Yeah.
Oh, we.
Yeah. But yeah, whoever you folks pick.
If I may, motion, I guess. I have two issues, but the first I would have to address for the motion. I'm not comfortable with a motion that states what property we're going to concentrate on. But
Let's just-
secondly,
I could take that out of my motion. It's just, I was looking to give anybody that was going to represent us some firm direction.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Urban Renewal Agency decided what, I believe, properties we would concentrate on. Is that correct?
Urban Renewal Agency recommended city council, well, you know, you guys.
Yeah.
Totally
We were there.
But, yeah, accepted the recommendation on the three that were selected, and that's how, when we put the RFP out, we let interested proposers know that the city, Urban Renewal District had identified 3 properties, and if anybody wanted additional information, that they could come in. I believe that maybe you did. We had a packet, remember Larry Lewis prepared
Yeah.
all the information on the 3 properties, so that was the information provided to potential proposers.
Okay, then my next comment or question would actually be after a motion is seconded and we have discussion, so.
I'll second the motion as amended.
Well,
If he wants to amend the motion, then I'll second it.
you get to word it.
Sorry, Jerome.
I don't know, I'd like to go forward in this process. But I just don't, there's the dynamics come up that could cause me to have a potential conflict of interest.
One thing, Councilor Grant is, I'm thinking back on it now, we wanted to have a non-biased, person involved in, the sale of, or handling the sale of these properties. And, that was primarily, as I recall now, the reason for putting out an RFP. We really would like to have a non-interested person, other than those of us on the council and anybody that's got any property for sale. And that being said, the only other thing that comes to my mind is a certain time limit. Go ahead, Joe.
I just wanted to clarify my last statement in that I stated that if Jerome would be willing to amend his motion, then I would second it. The reason that I said that was because, okay, put it this way, I used to be a professional picture framer, and after putting in the time and devotion and dedication to my skill, I did not ever really take it real well when somebody would try to come in and tell me, oh, well, this is how it's done, because this is what I've studied and learned how to do. That's my area of expertise. The reason I'm saying that is because what I'm trying to say is that I know that Ms. Powell is very skilled in what she does, and so in giving her, or in creating a contract with her to represent the city, I personally would not want to try to step in then and tell her, then, to direct her as far as the intricacies of doing her job,
That's part of our problem.
Oh, I understand that. What I'm saying though is that I trust that she will be able to approach the property owners in an appropriate way. So, I mean, coming back to us with feedback as far as what she's found out, what the negotiations are, things like that, that's fine, but I'm saying is beyond reporting to us, what the progress is and, the stage of the negotiations, I personally would just simply prefer to step back and let her do her job. That's all. So, does that make any sense at all?
It's just that, additionally, I would say, the properties that were originally recommended by the council, I foresee no potential conflict of interest in my participation in the vote or discussion. However, there are other properties, that are not on the table that could be potential that I would have to recuse myself from any discussion. But I would say that it might be to the benefit of Ms. Powell to have either work with Larry Lewis, okay, and on these properties who knows more about the zoning and maybe worth and things than certainly I do. Maybe not. But Larry Lewis would be, I think, a good resource for her for representing the city. Larry,
Just like any other property owner or potential buyer, you'd want to have some recourse or some dialogue with their person that's representing.
So I would amend, I guess I would reword my motion to say that I would be to engage, I would make a motion to engage Ms. Tammy Kyle, Emerald Coast Realty to represent the city in brokering some of these potential real estate buys that we have.
Second.
Thank you too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's make it a joke.
Thank you.
Can I make a quick comment?
Sure.
Typically, I'm involved in helping to come up with a price that's appropriate to offer, by doing some research on
Right on.
past sales and that
Oh,
kind
sure.
of stuff. So
Yeah.
happy to be involved in that. And also happy to take guidance on which properties you'd like to pursue first, or in what order, or all together, whatever.
Why not?
Yeah, definitely.
Good enough.
You don't know what we're thinking. Go ahead, Robert.
And that, since we've got it moved and seconded now, just my question. One of the other proposal we got listed, some commercial properties that were of their experience. Do you have much commercial property experience? Is most of it your experience commercial, or is it residential?
It's a combination, probably heavier on the residential side.
But you've also had handled commercial.
Mhm. At the coast, we don't have any brokerages that handle commercial property specifically, so it just depends on
Comes
whose
up.
door it lands in, basically. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
It's different.
I'm good.
If you'll add into your motion there, Jerome, something that would give us a report from time to time, or after a certain period of time.
I guess after we gauge your services, I guess we would, I'm sure that Tammy would give such a report.
She can report on, you know, on a regular basis like Larry Lewis does,
Yeah.
like I do. I mean,
Yeah.
once you hired her, she's just part of the staff. Just
Right.
happens to be contracted staff,
Right.
so.
We could put her on the agenda.
You don't need a separate motion to direct what staff should do.
Right.
And usually I give updated information on a daily basis, or as I get it, as far as where we are with negotiations or that type of thing.
Go please, sir.
Fisher Brown,
Yes.
Wiseman,
Yes.
Gambino,
Yes.
Mackala,
Yes.
Grant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Brady,
Okay,
you're up.
Mill Creek, Reservoir Building Project contract. We just need to get this, approved, the agreement for the council to approve our end, right, and then,
I don't, normally we don't present these agreements to the council for approval until we have all the certificates of insurance and all that. But we're trying to be a little bit on a fast track here.
yeah.
So, we've worked with Road and Driving Company before. We're pretty confident that they have the required insurance. So it's being presented to you tonight for the city's side to approve the agreement, authorize the mayor to sign once we get all that stuff.
It's being expedited.
Yeah.
Using big words now.
Trying to keep up with the.
Mr. Mayor?
That's,
I would like to move that we approve the mayor to sign the agreement between the city and Road and Driving Incorporated for the North Creek Reservoir Dredging Project.
Second.
if there's no discussion, call please.
Wiseman,
Yes.
Gambino,
Yes.
Mackala,
Yes.
Grant,
Aye.
Fisher Brown,
We got the bit in our teeth this time. Yes.
On to correspondence.
I have 3 items of correspondence. Which you should have copies of all of that stuff. Let's see. So the first one is an email from Kathy Wyatt, News Times newspaper, and she has informed us that the News Times is going to be doing their yearly Coast Guard appreciation pages in the July 20th edition, and she's wondering if the council would want to participate in putting something in that Coast Guard appreciation pages. Deadline to submit is July 15th, and then she provides cost and sizes of, like, I think that smallest size might be like a business card size, and it's $99. Anyway, you have a copy of that, so that's something the council would want to do.
Perry, what's our history on this? I don't remember if we did this last year.
We have, honestly, I don't remember if we did it last year, but I know that the city has participated in this before.
I thought so.
And Kathy was involved, and she came up with nice wording. I think we had a whale's tail or something.
Oh, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
Bobby,
Yeah.
Council Bobby.
Yeah. What would the count, what? Oh, there we go.
Hey, there we go. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we, Depoe Bay, participate with this Coast Guard appreciation page in the July 20th edition of the News Times. And I would like to further move that we authorize funding in the amount of $189 for a 3x5, which is right smack in the middle of the sizes and rates that she's given us, and I think that that's the least we can do for the whole wall gang.
I'll second that motion.
Call please.
Gambino,
Yes.
Mapula,
Yes.
Grant,
Aye.
Fisher Brown,
Yes.
Wise.
Yes.
Okay, that was the first item of correspondence, and really it's, oh no, I was gonna say it's the only one that needs action, but the next item of correspondence is a letter to our mayor from the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians Tribal Council, and they are inviting Mayor Mapula to the 2016 powwow, August 12th through the 14th, and the mayor has attended it at least 3 times.
Yeah, this will be the 4th one
So
now.
be the 4th one. Let's see. So I don't think there's really any cost except for maybe some mileage reimbursement.
They're not doing, no.
Are we going up to Siletz for this? Or where's the?
Yes, government.
I live right below it, I listened to it for 17 years, I love it.
All right. Well, now there's a camping fee of $25 and then $5 for a pet, but you usually don't spend the night. You just drive up there and you do it.
I just drive up, they see me coming, and the chief says, put them right there,
All right.
all in the line.
So, if, we have this pre-authorization of expenses, so if the council would be willing to, support,
Yeah, it costs, except for driving up there. it
yeah,
costs-
like I say mileage, for the mayor to do this August.
Unless you wanna buy some little cushy toys to throw out to the kids. But
Are you,
we can
you're gonna do the
spend one.
parade?
I'd
You're
love that.
gonna do the parade?
Oh, yeah.
You should do it, are you gonna do it in your car or somebody else's?
Might try.
Okay.
So,
So,
taffy.
yeah, we need to do that, so, I would like, go ahead, Margaret.
No, no, please.
I would make a motion that we provide the mayor with expenses up to $200 to buy some candy and do whatever he needs to
Well,
make it a fun time.
it's a kids parade.
Love it.
Second. I'll second.
Me too.
Call please. And I'm one of the kids. I enjoy it.
I need to be sure, Mapula, yes to the
Yes,
motion?
yes.
All right. Grant,
Aye.
Fisher Brown,
Yes.
Wiseman.
Yeah.
Gambino.
Yes.
Okay, next piece of correspondence is from the city of Newport. Spencer Neville, the city manager, and, City of Newport City Council has decided to set up a workshop meeting, between all the county and the cities of Lincoln County to discuss housing issues. The meeting will be Tuesday, July 12th at 3 p.m. at Newport City Hall. And our mayor has, he's going to go. But the letter says that any of you are more than welcome if you're interested in attending. So I would just need to know pretty soon if you are interested. And by pretty soon, like maybe tomorrow? So if you're interested, like I say, what it's going to be is, just discussing from local government standpoint, the housing issues, workforce housing, et cetera, and so it's a work session is what it is. Sit down and see what,
That's on the 12th.
that is on the 12th at 3 p.m. in Newport.
We know there's a shortage of housing, it really is.
So anyway, that's just FYI, if you're interested, please let me know, and I will let, Peggy know down there in Newport how many. So for sure, our mayor is going. And if I might, Mayor, real quick, I'll slip in, that's all the correspondence I had, but at the last meeting, I had asked if any of you were interested in going to the League of Oregon Cities Conference in September. Have any of you had a chance to think about that?
What was the date?
September 29th through October 1st, and it's over in Salem. Registration open July 1st. And I believe the hotel where they always host it is always sold out before they announce it, but they always have other lodging available, so. So is anybody interested? Anything else? You let me know as soon as possible. Okay. So maybe Robert,
Were they having it at the Grand there?
I think it is, yeah. I think it is. Okay, that's all I think I have, thank you. Oh, one more thing. He's starting his hand. Just a reminder, next week, Wednesday, 3 to 5 o'clock is our transportation system plan open house, down at the community hall. And then Thursday evening is the joint city council planning commission workshop, transportation system plan. I think that's from 6 to 8. So we've got you booked, that's here. The Thursday night is here, so we've got you booked a little bit next week.
You mean a week from this Thursday?
The 13th and the 14th,
Would you give me a call?
yes. We'll send you a reminder.
Can't read that.
Thank you, that's all I have.
Ready, it's your turn.
I'll give you an update on the lot 8400 across the street where we have, a lot of folks living, in RVs and it's been an ongoing issue over there. The owner of the lot that's from, San Clemente, California, which is down by San Diego, he is flying up here, he'll be here tomorrow, meeting with, his, I guess, attorney and his, some colleague of his, and also trying to get Lincoln County Sheriff to be involved. They're trying to, they're gonna be here to clean this lot. They've got a dumpster ordered, and, he's gonna proceed with, trying to get that lot cleaned up. I don't know if he's hired a handyman service or what, but, he's, at a point where, I've been working with, one of, Pete's, associate, yeah, that, he's been helping me quite a bit with doing all the legal aspects of this. And, we're at the point where the council ordered to levy fund, but we never, had it, this, motion as a nuisance. So, right, the property wasn't,
It seems to have prompted the guy to do something, so.
it did, and that's really the only missing link that we could do that. I guess we'll wait till, if nothing gets accomplished this go around, because we've heard this before, but, you know, so I don't know how far they're gonna get. There may be some red tape with Lincoln County as far as getting them off there, because there's some wait time with, if they've been established there for long, some of these folks have rights, and they've been living there, so the judge may, order, to give their point, a statement from them and their point of view. They have a right to do that, I guess. And then he makes his decision. So unless it's expedited, it goes right through, I'm not sure.
So
At this point, they're supposed to be here tomorrow and start cleaning up. They're getting with me and figuring out exactly what they're gonna do to clean up the lot.
So Brady, we have not, issued a, fine to this.
No, it has to be declared a nuisance,
Okay.
and we have not done that. We made a motion to have,
Yeah.
Pete's Associate start with, the levy a fine, I guess that's how we put it in motion, but legally, we have to declare the lot as a nuisance.
Okay.
Do all the proper channels to do this correctly.
Pete, can we do that by a simple motion?
You can do it, but I mean, for me, I'd rather have you folks, go through the hoops, in a calm manner, because what ends up happening when you do a nuisance and you start foreclosing on stuff, you run the risk of the public enemy of a taking, you know, and I'm not saying the people here would ever take us to court, but, my last go-around with the city, which is several years ago, we had one, it took 7 years to finally get that rat hole cleaned up, torn up, sold off. And so, to me, I'd rather have you folks be careful, and what I told Thad is to make sure to put the brakes on, because he's a young guy. I said, any client who wants it done tomorrow, I said, just do whatever the statute says. So we could, but I'd rather that we try this intermediate approach, because you win either way. Either you get the property, which is a pain in the butt, or they clean it up.
So essentially then you'd advise us to hold that in abeyance and as maybe, we won't need to use it, but if it comes about that we should, we certainly have that in reserve.
Correct. It's very similar to like human resources when they're trying to correct somebody's behavior before they terminate somebody. I have clients that say, I just want to terminate the person. Like, well, that's not really the way the law works. You have to, so that's what I'm saying. If it gets them, if it gets the guy up here from San Diego, gets them in there with the sheriff, even if they win or lose in court, at least they're trying something. And we always have that to pull out.
Right.
It just is, seems a little out of balance when we got people on private property that have never had, as far as I'm hearing, a rental or lease agreement with the private property owner. And the police don't even have the ability to move them off the property. Yet, here's one. If they were on national forest, which we all own, okay, then it's every American citizen's right to be there. That if the national forest deemed that you were squatting on their property, they would literally burn you out and take you to jail.
Well, they have the might of the federal
I don't think we have it in our
government.
code.
Honestly, underestimated. You got the National Guard you can call in, who's gonna argue?
Forest
with that?
Rangers, they've got enforcement people.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that is definitely, as far as I know, it's all Americans' problem.
And the National Guard.
So who's it?
Robert, the flamethrower, now you know what the flamethrower is on the APs. No, I'm just, I think we're getting along with that. We've got the guy coming up here. So having that work on these letters and having it come from the lawyer's office is really working. So,
It's incremental, I guess that's the word I was looking for, kind of incremental discipline versus, you know, just hammering.
Well, we've gotten a response, and that's, essentially, that's
it's more like having.
what we wanted to get from the last meeting, and that's what, you know, what I got from it, was
Right.
that we wanted to get finally a response from him, and we've gotten that. So I
Right.
guess the best and wisest course is just to see what results from it.
And it's really come
At this
to
point.
really come up front, because I hear it daily, people are so upset about it.
I
And,
know.
yeah, just trying to do what we can legally. So, anyway, I'll give you an update by next meeting, or maybe we'll see things happening, over the next few days.
You may have read a couple, what was it, maybe a couple of weeks ago, where the city of Portland finally, after 80 years, has decided to foreclose on 5 homes. I mean, the zombie homes. I mean, Portland has a way bigger problem than any other city in Oregon, and it took them 80 years to finally go through the process, and I think they identified 5 homes. I mean, you do kind of like measure twice and cut once in this
Well,
business.
if you can't out-litigate them, then outlast them.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Betty.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're better than I can.
Okay, so, the next thing I had was the porta potties that
Yeah.
council, those are in down there. I'm gonna work with, the harbor master and myself, we'll find some areas for them. Right now, they're down by dock 4, that's where the company dropped them off, they couldn't get in and out of there.
Yeah,
They gave me the okay to, okay with the
excellent.
crew, city crew to do it,
Yeah.
he said. So we just gotta be careful.
What did they?
Make it a
announce
dick.
this?
I was gonna get the breakdown. He was supposed to drop off the paperwork, and I think that's in the, harbor shed. So I wasn't there, the meeting was coming up, so it was late today.
yeah,
I'll find out.
Matt was gonna tell them when they bring the third one down and put it halfway up between 2 and 3.
Oh, okay, well, we were thinking about putting, we were talking about placing them on the back by the harbor shed, and not in the way of the walkway. And have them in the back of the wall.
Oh, yeah, well, that'd be good too.
So, yeah, and they did say we got a municipal break, and so, and I told them we wanted it through August, so, yeah, So, that happened, that's about it, we're just, trying to keep it, it's hard, the tourists are just overwhelming now, so it's all the crew can do to keep up with cleaning, and it was a full-time job just keeping the bathrooms functioning.
Yeah.
It was crazy over the weekend. A lot of janitorial work and supplies going into the bathrooms. So they're lined up completely in that corridor to ones, which was a line of folks, and then, the other, was down in the harbor too, so.
I was glad to see him down there.
Yeah. Yeah, they are very busy right now.
Good.
That's it.
Okay. Council comments.
Okay, I will make this quick. I have, as we've heard in previous years, I've had a lot of people coming to me commenting about the, you know, the lack of any sort of, 4th of July celebrations or anything in Depoe Bay. And I do understand that we probably will never get the fireworks back. I remain ever hopeful, always, but, I just think that it would really benefit the city if we organize some sort of 4th of July celebrations here in Depoe Bay. I know that there's always a lot of people in town, and one of the things from one of my, my former cities of residence in Ketchikan, on 4th of July, they set up, all of the nonprofits in town set up food booths and game booths, and you can have your picture taken on a motorcycle and on a Harley and a leather jacket if you want to. Stuff like that, and all of that goes to benefit directly all of the nonprofits in town. And I do realize that there's not that many nonprofits here in Depoe Bay, but I think that it would really be a good thing for the city, even if we can't have the fireworks, that if we had something going on during the day on 4th of July that would, maybe benefit Neighbors for Kids and some of the other businesses in town, or any of the other organizations that, are here in town. The chamber might be able to do something, the Lions might be able to, just a thought, but I really just think that, everybody goes to Lincoln City into Newport into Siletz, and I really think people need something here in town. So that's all I have to say on that.
Thank you, Joe. So, or Jeff, I mean,
No comments, good meeting.
sure.
I would ditto what he said. Let's go.
Yeah, except on Joe's, I would say we never did get a formal written letter denying us the right to help have fireworks. Did they have fireworks at Ketchikan?
Yes, they do.
Okay, they probably, disturb some nesting seabirds up there too. But that being said, when they were scared away by a verbal, I never did see a formal denial letter of our application. So it might be interesting to, submit an application to it, and have them do it, and deny it formally.
For the fireworks,
Yeah,
I did that. It is a city or a federal coastwide, all the way from Canada to clear to into South America, governs these so-called endangered birds, which are the cormorants.
Which they're killing
And
animals.
that is from two different governors now.
did you get a letter saying that denying it to the city?
Well,
It's the chamber.
we had to get it out, but I'm sure we can find it. And it's also another one from the Parks Commission, or Parks Bureau, that they have been instructed to let us know that we can't use that property because of that treaty. And by the way, that treaty is something about 90-some years old. And I'm sure we got something around
I
there.
don't wanna get it started, but, there happens to be world-class development within 100 feet of that rock. And human activity. And then trucks going by with jet brakes, daily, multiple occasions, that are probably louder than I'm just saying, and Lincoln City, don't they let their fireworks off over the water there?
Yes, they do. I
And
watch
there's some
them last
rocks,
night.
I'm just saying, it might be interesting to get a formal.
The seals nest just across from where they set off those fireworks.
But your point is well taken. The government can do what they want.
You're in charge of that.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I've done it for 3 years. And
That would
nobody
take seconds.
Okay, I don't have any more to say. 17 minutes, an hour, 10 workshop.